Okay, so it appears that we were mistaken about how Yung Miami supposedly avoided Diddy's attention because new reports claim that Diddy also hurt her. I know that Miami likes to brag and act tough, but you all already know that Diddy is dangerous. This man was out there threatening to kill live grown men and blowing up cars, and according to Miami's ex-boyfriend Diddy, severely damaged her physique. Since Cassie first filed her lawsuit, Yung Miami has been largely silent about Diddy's illegal drama. For a long time, fans believed that this was because she was complicit in the mess girl, but we were mistaken. Now, her ex is attempting to correct the record, and the receipts he pulled up have shocked the internet, so let's get started. To be fair, it's difficult to place the blame on anyone. Miami gave off a madam aura and appeared to be Diddy's favorite on multiple occasions because to her open threats against other ladies, such as in Diddy's side piece, which suggested that she wasn't entirely innocent. Long before Miami entered the picture, Gina Gina had been playing tricks on Diddy, but Miami felt secure enough to threaten to make Diddy force Gina into a freak-off. During a dispute, Miami boldly tweeted, "If I wanted you to eat my P. Diddy would have had you on your knees. You a Gina, you've been down bad ever since I came into the picture. You've been crying for a baby for 10 years. You've been around as a B that eat P and D when he feel like it. You a same B that was crying on Tasha K cause you wanted a baby. Poor sushi." As if that weren't awful enough. According to court documents filed in July 2022, she was also named in a lawsuit filed by one of Diddy's victims, who claimed that Miami had tormented her so severely when she became pregnant with Diddy's child that she lost it. At the direction of defendant Combs, Jane Doe went to his house in Los Angeles. While in his restroom, she was forced to consume an unidentified liquid, which she subsequently discovered was or contained ketamine and/or other substances that caused Jane Doe to black out and lose consciousness intermittently throughout the night. Jane wrote that she did not consent to consuming ketamine and/or other substances, and that she woke up covered in bruises after losing consciousness from the substances, realizing that something horrible had happened to her during that time. She also stated that Combs would force her to perform a show for him and would give her drugs and alcohol until she passed out. She would wake up with bruises and injuries, but she had no memory of how she got hurt. This continued until July 2024. The victim then claimed that she eventually became pregnant with Diddy's child, which led to Yung Miami's alleged miscarriage, according to the document. A pregnancy test that Jane Doe took came back positive. Jane Doe told defendant Combs that the test was positive. Carrie Shaw Brown-Lee, defendant Combs's associate Jane Doe, by contacting her repeatedly and requesting that Jane Doe be fired. It was difficult to perceive Miami as a victim because Jane Doe had a miscarriage and had not spoken to defendant Combs or his team for over 3 months. However, in situations like this, is that two realities can coexist. Although she may have been cruel to other women, she may also have been a victim herself. Fans believe that she was allegedly victimized by Diddy, and the ex is saying that we have it wrong and that there is more to the story than what was told. For instance, you may recall Lil Rose claimed that Miami used to transport drugs for Diddy. Little R.A. wrote, plaintiff and the Combs RICO enterprise were rehearsing for something in the Westville in Virginia. According to the court document, defendant Sean Combs wanted to see Mr. Jones perform a few lines of nose candy in his dressing room, but Brendan forgot it, so defendant Christina Carorm called Yung Miami, who then delivered it on the private plane from Miami. The alleged ex is now saying that she didn't really have an option and that she had to follow Diddy's instructions or face consequences. This may seem unbelievable at first, but during the trial, several witnesses testified that you had to obey Diddy at all times or he would become angry, and you know what happens when he gets angry. If Diddy had wanted Yung Miami to drop everything and bring him nose candy wherever he was, you can be sure that's what would have happened. However, wait, because that's not all. You remember when Miami boasted about how much she loved golden showers and how she and Diddy used to do that? Well, if you enjoy golden showers, you should give it a try. Word on the street is that it was just a coping mechanism for her because she didn't really have a say in whether it happened or not again. If Diddy told her to get on her knees and get leaked on, she had no choice. This explains why she abruptly tried to backtrack after Diddy was arrested. Do golden showers, which means that when the guy pees on you, you pee on yourself everywhere, you like it, I just like it, you do MHM. I never said he was the one. I did that with. Intimacy is a part of life. I'm grown and maybe I talk about it too much, but everybody's got their personal experiences, she tweeted, asserting that she had never done that with him. I see a lot of girls being peed on when we're grown and sitting around the house, wanting to talk about intimacy. What's wrong with that? Other people get pooped on, other people live life on the edge, and some people are born AF. So? But it appears that she was merely attempting to protect herself from the humiliation, which the claimed ex claims occurred, and like Cassie, she was left with no other option. During the prosecutor's cross-examination of Cassie, she acknowledged that Diddy would have her do freak-offs, even when she was menstruating. The prosecutor also asked her, "Did you want to be urinated on?" In response, Cassie said, "No, I didn't want it." When questioned about the experience by the prosecution, she said, "It was disgusting, it was too much. No one could think I wanted it." She responded, "Too much urine in my mouth, I didn't want anyone to urinate on me," when asked why she did it and whether she wanted Diddy to urinate in her mouth. "It was clear that I didn't want to be on the ground while two men urinated on me, but things became more bizarre when one of the escorts testified that Cassie had asked him to leak information about her in court documents. He stated, "So Cassie was actually the one that asked me to urinate on her. They had just come out of the room and she asked me if I had ever done it before and I said no. And she instructed me to do it, but it appears that I was doing it incorrectly because they both stopped